Hello, I am Teresa, Crafty Grams. Welcome to the Craft Lair. Today I have before you book pages. I have a lot of book pages, as I'm sure you do as well, um, varying sizes and ages and topics and what have you. So today the goal is to make something useful, obviously, maybe a little bit different from things we've seen before, and use up the book page. So, this I saw several few months ago on Natasha at Treasure Books. I saw her make it. And what it is um, this might be a little too narrow, but it'll work. It's a wraparound pocket page edger. A wraparound page edger ish pocket. I don't know. So this paper is obviously from a book written in, I believe, Hebrew, a foreign language. So that way I don't know which is up and which is down. So it won't, oh, the dates are in there in English. So, well, anyway, as I was saying, I won't know whether it's upside down or right side up. Was that right? Right up? You know what I'm saying. The direction of the font does not bother me. So it's basically there is the fold. That's what you do to make it. And then the idea is that you take your standard size journal page and wrap it around it. Boom. There you go. So the size of your book page obviously determines the size of your hugger, page hugger. That may be actually what she called it. I don't know. You'll know. Say. So this fold can be made from the bottom or from the top so that it can wrap the page around the top corner or around the bottom corner, thusly. I am not a big fan of um, things that wrap around the not that wrap around, but if they were just wrapping for decorative purposes, that'd be fine. But for something you want to tuck stuff into, I don't trust things that you tuck from the bottom because I always, in my mind, they're going to fall out. That could be fixed very easily by adding a paper clip. I don't know. It's just a thing. It's just the way my brain malfunctions. Feel free to do whatever your brain tells you to do. So, obviously, in choosing your book pages, they can't be subject to um, breaking or crumbling. Cracking or crumbling. No cracking or crumbling book page allowed. This is a really nice textured paper. Sorry, I'm really okay. I'll stop now. So, obviously, the size of your book page is going to determine how big your page hugger is. This is a rather large book page, but this might be a good opportunity to use it. I've never used this book paper page, but never used pages from this book before because they are quite large. This is a what we used to call back in the day a coffee table book. Um, so folding this even all the way in half basically is it's going to take up a huge portion of my journal page, right? Doable, completely and totally doable and possible. Excuse me. So, I mean, I could realistically leave it big like that. But since there is so much of this margin, I can just tear it down. Tear it down, tear it down, tear all of that, or just most of it down. And, you know, it will be just dandy. Why is this not? It's obviously, I'm tearing it against the grain of the paper, but can't be helped. That's what we're doing. And it is too large of a thing for me to get my small hands around to tear it slowly. Anyway, there we go. So that will go in my book page scraps for future me to make into paper, because that's totally going to happen. Anyway, since I've torn that edge, I'm going to tear them all, because consistency is not necessary, but it it works for me. Not everybody's thing, but it's a thing for me. So yeah, I'm severely reducing the size of this particular piece of book page, but that's okay. I like the torn edge because it does, when you ink it, which I will do in a moment, it does take the ink beautifully. And as I said, it will take up less space in on a journal page. So again, you could fold them directly in half or as close to half as possible, but that to me would make it more difficult to slide around the book, the journal page piece of paper. So I'm going to leave some overhang there. And then, of course, if you have images on your book page, that would also then determine what direction you fold it, this way or that way, or up or down. But I don't believe that I have any images in any of these pages. So I could be wrong, but I'm going to do this one the way that I want to do it. So I'm going to fold it from the bottom up, and the next step is going to be ink. Apply the ink. I'm using Vintage Photo, the archival distress ink version, and ink the front and the back, because it's all going to be, mostly all going to be exposed. I mean, we will cover some of the inking by adding decorations and such, but I'm going to have to tear that because it's very thin and interfering with my inkage. Yeah. So going around. Hope everyone's had a great day. It's Friday for me. Yeah, so this has been, I am very exhausted this week. Just drained, feeling sort of lo-fi instead of hi-fi. Um, it's been a bit of an emotional roller coaster with my grandson turning 2. That was a big event. It was a rather big birthday party, but mostly just family. But hey, we're a big family. My late husband's sisters came down. That's always very exciting. Makes me very happy to know that we are all still here for each other. And so that was nice. They have like a 4-ish hour drive from where they live in South Carolina. So I appreciate them doing that. And I know that it's no big thing to them because they want to be here for their nieces and nephews and therefore grand nephews. But it's nice. And then, so that was it's a happy time, but it still is, it's tiring for me too. And then my youngest son started a new job and took his German Shepherd baby to get a second opinion on her bladder issues, and came away feeling very, very positive about this particular examination. He felt it was very thorough. The vet brought in an ultrasound machine to scare her bladder, to scan her bladder, which was where the cancer scare was. And she did not see anything at all in Sophie's bladder. And she did that, with my son watching, and explained all the things that they were seeing on the screen to him. And so he felt, obviously, that made him feel happy that she most likely does not have cancer of any kind. But also she did, a urinalysis. And yes, Sophie does have a urinary infection, and sent that off for culture, which had never been done before. Now, mind you, Sophie's nearly 7, and she has had a tendency to urine infections all of her life, but this is the first time anyone has sent one off for culture. And so this vet is exploring the possibility that she has recurring urinary infections because they never really clear. So we shall see how it all goes. But obviously that was a big relief, not only in that he won't have to spend the time and money going to a specialist, but also that Sophie is very much healthy. Right. So, oh, sorry, that was loud. The next step would be to glue this. And the way Natasha glued it was she opened it all the way up, glued this corner down completely. So this is all glued down the way she does it. So that when you fold this up and glue this down completely, the only opening is to here, which I get in making it a page hugger, so that there's only one place to potentially put this over the page is right through there. But I just can't overlook the possibility of making this a pocket as well. Either here or here, probably here. So yeah, glue this down to there completely, but leave this, just glue this right here so that there's a pocket here. Maybe you could glue this from the top and make it a tuck. No, you can't do that because that's going to be exposed to the edge of the page and it could fall out. See, this is how my brain works. Things fall out. So we'll just do this one the way Natasha did it. Just so we can see her original make. You know how I don't like to follow the rules. So yeah, that's that glued down to there, right? Yes, you see my my sponge flakes everywhere. That irritates me so bad. Right. Let me crease that a little bit better. Okay, and then glue. How do we do that then? How do we do that then? We're gluing. Let's see. We have to leave this open, so then we just glue. I'm trying to figure out where my lines should be. Definitely here and here and here. Here and here and here. But how far up are we going? Right? Let's see. I guess I can do that. Whoopee. Now that I have it in place, let me get my my needle nose in there. Right there. Now, of course, there's no end to the possibilities of decorating for this. Like one of the ones that she did. I don't know if you've ever seen her, watched her channel. You know that she, at the very beginning of each video, she has a pile of them already made, and you can see how she's decorated them and finished them and all that stuff. Um, so yeah, you add dangles along this edge, tabs that you can dangle from. So yeah. So let me come around here. Yeah. Making sure I inked both sides of this, which I did. So there, that's one done, according to Natasha's examples. That's exactly how she did it. Right. So now let's see if my idea to make a pocket down here works, or if it just confuses things too much. Right, so there's that one made from the very biggest piece of book page I have out here. I'm just going to go ahead and tear this a little bit around so I don't lose much of this page size. I don't like it when it sort of makes that wispy bit, but my hands are so small that it does that. Okay, I can't get control of the page to make it tear where I want it to. I mean, yes, I guess I could use a tear ruler now that my brain has engaged in the process. Holy guacamole. Holy guacamole. Let's do this. Let's do this thing. Let's make it a little evener, more even underneath here. So, okay. There we go. Mission accomplished. Not straight, but that's what happens when I cover up the end. That has to be torn. Do they make clear tear rulers? I don't know. I've had this tear ruler for 20 years or so. Since back in the days of Creative Memory, when I was, Creative Memories is the name of the company, when I was I don't know, consultant, presenter, whatever they call them. I'm going to leave that one as is. And that's that. And that's that. All right, let me crease the folds a little bit. Burnish. And then get my crummy inker and ink. Inking is the most fun, right? Most fun thing to watch. I know. Okay. That's that done. Okay, that's that done. My son has made noises like he's going to try and edit out things that are boring like that. So I'm going to try and do something um, sort of obvious uh, to let him know when there's an end point. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to try this. Well, makes an awful tiny pocket now, doesn't it? Maybe it was only appealing when it was that large piece of book page. But I'm still going to try it because that's what I said I was going to do, and I want to try it because I can always find just some small tchotchke pieces, not necessarily functional. Not everything has to be functional, I keep trying to tell myself. Like if I put a ticket in there, it's small enough for a pocket that size that does not have to function as anything other than cute, right? Right. So now I'm going to do this and this. So I still think this will be easy enough to hug the page to whilst also making that a pocket. So I think that's a successful alternative. Is making this a pocket right here. Yeah, I like it. I'm happy with that. Okay, so that's two pieces of book page. Now this is the most common size book page that I have, which is this is from a Reader's Digest condensed book, which is what I make most of my altered books from. Now this one will definitely the pocket would definitely be too small to be of any real use. So I shall just do this. I don't even think I'm going to tear the edges because, like I said, it'll make it quite a small piece of, quite a small, uh, it'll make it too small. I got nothing else. I got nothing else. No other, it's just going to make it too small. Yeah, so here we go again with the most boring part. Okay, so there's that. Gluing down. Gluing down, probably too much. Now this also, as I was inking it, I was realizing that this is a thin, rather thin piece of book page, and I know that folding it up will make this part of it more sturdy, more substantial, but this part that might, I don't know, it would be, obviously, it would not be a bad idea, a horrible idea to glue two pages together to make it a little bit meatier, sturdier, durable, whatever words we want to use for all of that. Um, yeah, but I do not believe that would make it too thick then to function either. So yeah, yeah. So yeah. I confused myself because I was talking while I was doing it. So yeah, I got confused. So yeah, there's that. There's that one. Three. Gosh, if I'm not the slowest. Okay, now this is just some supremely boring, mostly blank paper, but it will still work, serve our purposes here. I am going to tear off um, these things. I'm going to tear off the punched side. I am not going to punch off the torn side. So therefore, I will probably go ahead and tear some off of each side. Yep. Wow. Okay. I don't want to make it all that same ruler torn edge look, because that is a bit, you know, uniform. That's the word I'm looking for. It's also a bit uniform. So I don't know. It really doesn't want to tear in this direction easily at all. Yeah, I know I'm crumpling this up pretty good, but it's okay. It's really okay. It's okay. Because yeah, this is what we do. It's junk, right? It's just junk. Just junk. Okay. So I'm just going to look at this a little bit. Either way I do it, there's whether I fold it this way or this way. In fact, I might do it this way. I don't know. Not that way. Not that way. This way. Gosh. Well, you know what? No, because I like this. The idea of this being a kind of clean slate over here. Well, yeah. Let me, talk among yourselves while I debate with myself how this is going to go. I'm just bringing it over here in case you can't see to the left of the screen. I'm bringing it over to the clear, like not having all this underneath it. I guess that's probably a little confusing too. Maybe I should have moved all of this, the pages that I'm not working with. Come here, get out of the way, you guys. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, I had to throw away the other smaller craft mat that I was using for cutting things on. And now this one's not much better. It's cleaner. It's not much cleaner, but it doesn't have the little divots taken out of it from cutting on it. So, yeah, that's, in that regard, it's better. And here we go with the inking part, ASMR. Okay, so that is all inked up. Um, 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 so yeah, all inked up, no place to go. Sorry, I need a nap, maybe. I don't know. More coffee. Oh, put that one down there. And up there. Yeah, I could have made this one into a pocket, except that, again, this paper is very thin. Um, if I made another one of these using this particular book page, I would double it because this is very thin. So, yeah, I'm going to make one more out of this really lovely, lovely, lovely book page. And because I had a thought, yes, I did, I had a thought. Who says it has to be a long huggy? Right? No, that's probably not the best size for that. Let's try this one for that. Now, this truly would be a whole page, probably a whole page cover. But that's okay. Sometimes we're looking for something like that. Okay. why I can't get my fingers under it. Silly, silly, silly. Okay, 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 okay. Let us see. I don't want to make it so wide that it doesn't, or do I? I could have the whole thing hang off of the end of the page. I don't think I want to do that. But I may not have a choice. Let's see. I think I'm going to cut or tear, in this case, a little more off of the sides. So that it will fit inside of the page a little bit better, the journal page. Okay, okay, okay. Those I might keep because they're actually, like, I might not put in the journal, in the paper making scraps box. Like so, and like so. Stick out just a little bit. Or you could always tear more off to make it completely fit in, but I kind of like this idea we got going right here. Kind of liking it. Yeah, I kind of like that idea. I don't know why, but I kind of do. Then we could put a little, poke a hole there and put a little dangle off the edge. Be a little edgy. Sorry, that was completely ridiculous, but it's okay. I might be a little ridiculous. Right, so here we go again with the inkage. Okay, so all inked up. Um, and now this one I'm going to sort of leave. Am I going to do that? No, I'm not. I was going to say I was going to leave it uninked, but it can be inked, but it can be glued. It can be glued down, even off to the edge. Yeah, it can definitely be glued down. So I'm going to do that. Now, here we go with the glue. I mean, just because it's hanging off doesn't mean it can't be glued, because that will help reinforce for the dangle. Yeah, yeah, it will. Yeah. I'll wipe all these crumbs up too. That's ridiculous. Okay, okay. So exciting news. It's opening weekend for baseball. The first game of the season for the Braves is tonight. I will be watching. I hope I will be watching. Um, and yeah, so that's exciting news. I know you all wanted to hear that. All right, so that's that one. Um, so yeah, like I was saying, this is a good way to use up book pages, obviously, of any kind. And some of the book page I want to use up is, in particular, it is, I have a book on Michelangelo, uh, the artist, not the turtle. And, some of those images might be a little graphic to put in a junk journal, so I can just fold them over, but it's really, really yummy paper. So, and that is, I was going to say, that is one of the biggest things I look for when I am, and I thrift these books. They're not, obviously, um, yeah. So I get these at the Goodwill store or whatever else is out there, Salvation Army or whatever charity shops you have. Um, and uh, so yeah, so I very rarely pay attention to what the topic actually is. And that one I knew would be pictures of, the sculpture of David and such like that, might not be suitable for every audience. So, even though it is art, it's still, it's one of those things I just would rather not get into in this hobby. And I certainly feel like they would be flagged by YouTube should I try to use them. So yeah, that's a good. This is a good way to use up those book pages that are oversized, um, questionable content, that kind of thing. So yeah, this is the math workbook that the pages are very, very thin. So I'm just gluing those together so I'll be able to use them in this at some point. So I'm going to use my lovely paper. I'm going to go ahead and ink my lovely Hebrew paper. Okay, that is that one done. I folded this the wrong way. Did I? Did I? I did not. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Y'all, I have no idea what I did. Okay, I folded it from the wrong end, but I also folded it from the wrong end. Like, even if I wanted it to be a top tuck, it's folded wrong. Anyway, what I was saying before I started inking was book selection. The only thing I look for is the the paper. Is the paper, does it have a good feel? Does it crack or crumble easily? That kind of thing. So I very rarely pay attention to what topic or subject the book is. So in using these Hebrew book pages, I have no idea what the book is about at all. Even if I wanted to find out what the book is about, I would have no idea because it is in Hebrew. So if there is anyone watching who recognizes any of these words in here, and if it is supposed to be somehow a sacred book, I apologize, but it was a donated item or an item to be discarded by the original owners. So I apologize, but I don't know that. I don't know. I don't know that. Okay, so what am I going to do with this one now that I folded it completely and totally wrong and therefore inked it wrong? I guess I can fold it properly and then just try to disguise that, right? Sure. Yeah, I can do that. I'll cover that with decorations. Therefore, it will be just hunky dunky. Wowzers. I'm telling you what, I really can mess things up in new ways that people never even imagined. I'm that resourceful. I am clever like that. Okay, now we will glue. Pretend that never even happened up there. Wowzers. I constantly amaze myself and amuse myself. So, yeah, there's that. I am amusing and amazing in my own special, special way. This one I am going to glue into a pocket down here. Oh, yeah, really? Why you gotta be like that? Why you gonna do me that way? Honestly. Okey dokey. Mm-mm-mm. So I'm going to do this one. I'm going to try and tear off that black index number on both sides of this. That might make it too small or very small. I mean, I guess there's no such thing as too small since we are the rulers. We're the rulers. We make the rules on this. All right, one more, and then the noise will be done. Okay. Let me gather all these strips up, and they will go in my someday to be homemade paper box. I mean, I really want to do it. It's just I'm afraid of the mess, and I don't really have a place for it to sit outside or anywhere really and dry that it will not be messed with by human or other animal. Okay, so I did get those things off of there. And we're going to do it this way. Oh, yeah. Let me go ahead and fold it so I won't mess myself up again. And I'm doing this on camera just to test my theory that it won't be too bulky to fold neatly. And it's not. It really isn't. I mean, it's pretty good still. Pretty good. Okay. All right. I don't like this point. At this point, I don't like this point. Whew. I need something. I'm going to have to pause. Someone's in my house. Okay, sorry about that. My son came over to set up my Braves vision on my not my telephone, my television, so I can watch the Braves game. Right. So look at all those crumbs, man. That's ridiculous. Okay. So this is the last one I'm doing, and it's I'm gonna gluing here, and try and make it a pocket here. Try and make another pocket here. Right. Right. So, golly, I just had it in my hand and I lost it again. Oh my. The glue gloppage, man. It's a thing. There. Oh, see, now it's going to give me too much. It's okay. It's fine. It's all fine. Fine and dandy. Fine and dandy. All right. Just like that. Let's see if I can get this up. Nope, it's just going to smear all around. I need a wet wipe to clean it up properly. Yep. Okay, so there we go. That is our page hugger pocket. Page hugger. Yeah. Page hugger pocket. I don't know. I'm just going to call it a page hugger. So we got that one, that one that's messed up, and this one that goes this way. And that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I actually used up 8 pieces of book page. So that's exciting stuff. Yay. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your comments. I do love reading the comments and hearing ideas, of course. And yeah, I just like, I pay a lot of attention to your comments and I enjoy that. And I hope y'all enjoyed the video and I will see you in the next one. Craft and enjoy, y'all. Bye.